Hello, welcome guys. Today we are going to do afterburners. Water injection system we have already done in the previous class, where we used to add water into the compressor section or a diffuser section that is going to increase the mass, and that was increasing our thrust. So today we are going to understand what is the afterburner. As the name itself suggests, afterburner means you are reheating the air which is left inside this. See, when the air goes into the engine, no? So what happens is some of the oxygen is used up, but the remaining oxygen which is left after the combustion is passed through a new combustion chamber. Okay, new combustion chamber means they just make an area over here where they can carry out the combustion. Okay, and that acts as a afterburner. Okay, we also call it as a reheating. Clear? So let's go ahead. Okay, afterburner or reheating beta. So in this, you will see there is an increase of 50% in the thrust. Water injection, DGC will ask you the question, what was the percentage increase in the thrust if we use the water injection? So if we use the water injection, it is 10 to 30%. But if we are using afterburners, we get 50% increase in the thrust. But the fuel flow increase will be 3 times. As I told you, it is basically what? A small section which acts as a combustion chamber itself. Okay, at the end of the engine. So if I draw it over here, look over here, this is the jet engine. Okay, this will be the turbine, and after the turbine, this area which is left over here. Okay, here I will add some extra fuel and I will allow the ignition to happen over here. This will give me the flames outside, that will give you the thrust. Understood here? Okay, so let's go ahead. After this, there is the increase in the fuel is increased by 3 times. Increased thrust basically done by adding the fuel, right? The same point is repeated over here. Why we do this? Because some of the air which is coming out of the combustion chamber, which is passing through the turbine, still has uncombined oxygen. Uncombined oxygen means the oxygen which has not been used for the combustion. There's still the oxygen present in that air. We make use of that oxygen. Okay, as we are using this oxygen, we are adding more amount of the fuel. Both are going to combine. Correct here? That is going to increase the temperature, right? So as the temperature increases, the gases which are coming out will have the high velocity, therefore giving us the thrust. Okay. Another thing that you have to remember in the afterburner is that we use it only for the limited period of the time. Okay. We do not use it for a longer period of the time. We use it only for the limited period of the time. What is this limited period of time? Only during the takeoff, or when you are climbing, or when you require a maximum burst. Let us say that you are flying the aeroplane. Okay, suddenly this generally this is used in fighter aircraft, right? So suppose we are a fighter aircraft, we are going, and some enemy aircraft is behind you. So you want that run away from the enemy, right? So you can suddenly use an afterburst. Okay, so afterburner, you just switch it on. It will give you a burst of the speed, and you can go away from that area. Okay, Ria? So let's go ahead. Now there are two modes of operation of the afterburner. One is called as the cold mode. Cold mode of operation is when we are not using the afterburner. See, like when you are flying into your own territory, there is no enemy threat, right? So I can fly from one place to another calmly. So when you are going calmly, when you are not using the afterburner, that time the mode of operation is called as the cold mode of operation. Very favorite DGCA question. Okay, and if you are using the afterburner, see what happens when you use the afterburner. You can clearly see the flame at the exhaust of the engine. That will be called as the hot mode of the operation. So when you are using the afterburner, it is called as the hot mode of operation. Okay, some specific requirement that needs to be met. First one is the large temperature. All right, now what happens is when you look at a jet engine, the main reason why we have a limitation of the temperature is the turbine. Okay, turbine material cannot withstand a temperature more than a certain value. Hence, we have a temperature limitation. If you increase more temperature, you can get more thrust. So what will happen over here is after the turbine, there is a next section, afterburner. So behind the afterburner, there is no new turbine, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just add here fuel. I'm going to add an ignition here, and the air which is coming over here has got already the oxygen. So these three are going to combine together and start a flame over here. This flame is directly going to go outward, right? Exhaust gases are directly going to go outward from here, and that is going to give me the thrust. So I don't require the turbine to come behind this. So that limitation is removed. Okay. Secondly, when we are running in the cold operation, what is cold operation? When this system is not turned on. Okay. When this system is not turned on, let us say this is the turbine. Behind section will just act like a chamber through which the exhaust gases are going outward. So they do not participate. There is no loss of the air over here. So they won't affect the thrust. Okay, and you can operate this in a wide temperature range. Wide temperature range, as in you can operate the afterburner when the temperature is low, or you can operate it even when the temperature is very, very high. Now let us understand the operation of the afterburner. When we are understanding the operation of the afterburner, you need to understand how the afterburner works. So this was the turbine section. Exhaust gases are coming over here, which still have got some of the oxygen remaining over here. Okay, here you can see there are spray bars. Spray bar are going to put the atomized fuel. So we have got a different fuel system for the afterburner. Another DGCA question. Okay, here there is a pilot burner. We are using a igniter plug. Okay, instead of igniter plug, we call it as a pilot burner, and these are the flame holder which will hold the flame inside this section for a better amount of time. So what is going to happen is exhaust gases are coming over here. I am spraying the fuel. They are going to combine over here in this area, right? The flame holder are going to ensure that the flame does not go travel backward. And the pilot burner is going to ignite this air and fuel mixture in this area. Okay. So when the air and fuel mixture over here, it burns, it is going to create a lot of heat energy, right? Pressure energy, which has got only one section to go outside this, right? Otherwise it will stop. When afterburner is not operating, the variable nozzle will be in this A section. It will reduce the exhaust area. But when the afterburner is in the operation, exhaust gases will have a tremendous amount of the pressure. So they will move outward. They will create a divergent section so that the exhaust gases will go out. Whenever you are using afterburner, you have to use variable area nozzle. Otherwise, the system will not be perfectly working. Okay. Now let us see one small video of how the afterburner is coming into the picture. Okay, this video is taken from the YouTube. There is some channel in the YouTube. From there, I've taken this video. Okay, US Defense System channel. So see what is actually happening over here. This is the fighter aircraft. Okay, now what happens? See, when this aircraft is moving forward, you can see that there is a jet behind this. Why is this jet seen? Because here in this section, that is the your jet engine might be finishing over here. After this turbine, what we have done is we have added the fuel, we have added the ignition, and this is burning and creating the flame. Okay, when the afterburner is in the operation, you can most of the time see the flame behind. Okay, dear. So let us see the video further. So here you can see that the exhaust gases are coming outward, that is pushing the aeroplane forward. Okay, so what it does, it extracts the energy. Okay, whatever energy is left into the air, no, after the combustion, it will extract the energy available in that air and it will use it. Okay, dear. So let us continue. Okay, we were done till here, right? Okay, so understood the operation is very, very simple. Okay, you require the fuel and air mixture to be burned. For that reason, you require a burner. Burner is basically like an igniter plug. I will help you in understanding how it actually works. Okay, let us go ahead better. Now let us understand the ignition system. There are three types of ignition. First one is called as the hot streak ignition. In this, what we do is inside the combustion chamber of the engine. Okay, suppose it's a can type combustion chamber. What I will do is in one of the can, I will add excess amount of the fuel. Okay, that is, I will add extra quantity of the fuel into that section. So what will happen is when the exhaust gases are coming out, they will this section, because of the high amount of the fuel, will have a very high temperature, right? So if I add the fuel and oxygen to this high temperature, it will ignite. Such a thing is called as the streak ignition. Next one is the torch ignition. As we saw in the previous picture, that there was a pilot burner, right? So what we do in the pilot burner is we add fuel here and we ignite this fuel. So when this fuel is ignited, the flame will come outside from the burner. This flame will ignite the remaining air and fuel mixture. That is your torch ignition. And the third one is the electric spark ignition. This is similar to the spark plug. Okay, we will install a spark plug and that spark plug will act as the ignition source. Let's just go behind and understand this once again here. In this torch igniter, please understand when the air is coming from this, okay, and fuel is added to the spray bar, there is a pilot burner. Pilot burner was the second type category where you are adding fuel and ignition here, the flame is coming out and that flame is igniting the remaining fuel and emission. Okay, the main reason why I come back to this slide is look at this section. These are called as the cooling liners. We require this cooling liner because there will be a high temperature which can come in direct contact with this material of the engine, which can damage the material. So we give the cooling liner that will prevent the high temperature to directly come in contact with the material. Okay, so let's go ahead. So ignition, you have already understood the three sources of ignition beta. So that completes your afterburner. So mainly in afterburner, what happens is whatever oxygen is left after the combustion chamber, that is some amount of energy still left into that air. We are making use of that air. Okay, so we'll stop here, beta. See you next time. Bye everyone. Take care.